I have gathered you all here today to talk about Fiku. All right. Fiku. What do we know about this kid? Not much. 18 years old. He's been playing for AGO since the end of 2020, which is pretty cool. You know, first huge team, and he's spent a good amount of time with the boys. Okay. Oh, look at his crosshair control. Very, very sharp with it. Now, one thing I looked at, okay, because in this game he goes 40 and 13. He gets 20 kills each half versus EG, which is wildly impressive, right, to be able to do that. And one thing I was like, okay, so what do the rest of his stats look like, right? Naturally. But when I looked, I mean, pretty wildly inconsistent, honestly. And when I say that, I mean, not to say only the downside. Very, very good games. Very, very bad games. Okay? And listen, the kid is young. As a player, he hasn't played much. There's still lots of time. Moments like this are big for him, obviously, because they show a lot. 40 kills, not a kill on the pistol. Wow. Makes the rest of the rounds even more impressive. But when you've got this much time left on the clock, plus you have a match like this, it's huge. I mean, it's YouTubers like myself are going to cover it. People on Twitter are going to talk about it. It's a big deal. It's not the kind of thing you can really, your ego shouldn't explode off of this, a game like this. But it's big. They won the game off of it. He played really well. Apparently, I haven't watched the game yet. I think there's an ace in here somewhere. I don't want to spoil anything, but I haven't seen it myself, so I wanted to come in completely blind, as we do. And of course, as always, we can pull up the mini-map and... This is very loud. Okay. First one on the board. On my mixer. He's gonna get one. Yeah, he's gonna get one. I mean, he got 40, so there has to be one like off of a corner spam on long on dust too. Of course, that always happens. Okay. Let's pop the X-ray on just to show people we got it. You know what I mean? We're not gonna use it all the time, but I just want, we gotta flex it. Long cross smoke here on dust 2. With the crouching walk jump throw. I do a walking jump throw, different one. Almost from the same spot. So what's key here is not messing up, right? I get to the long spot. Let me talk about dust 2 for a second, okay? On the long side, it's a very unique part of the map for the T side. Over here, the reason it's unique is because 5 Ts can take long control with the smoke on the corner, flashes over the wall here, and take control of long, either take blue bin control or take pick control, jump out and hold it, and the CTs have to go back. And there's no way for the CTs to retake long quickly, okay? Later in the round, if the Ts leave long, the CTs can come back and take it. But if the Ts take long and the CTs know it, there's not a really plus EV play for the CTs to partake in, to come back and get long control, but it remains important. So that has resulted in a meta on Dust 2, where T-side, if they get the spawn for long, that can be enough in and of itself to win a round, okay? So a lot of times in pro play, we can talk about some good strats, but if you've got spawns like this, for example, you are going to take the long spawn no matter what the idea was coming into the round. A lot of the times your IGL is going to be like, well, let's see if we have long spawns. And that's going to be really important because long control on T-side is very key. Now, the CT adjustments, of course, are to take other parts of the map because there are only 5 Ts available, which means that they can only be in so many places at once. So a common thing to do is double up on cat, take cat control, which involves being slightly aggressive because you can't just kind of hang out here. There's not a lot of area to chill, but a place you could hang out, and something also common is to have a double push upper B, okay? And if you take over upper B control or you leave it upper posted on this line, for example, that can free up your second rotation to come over to reinforce. But ultimately, the best the CTs can do in both of these positions is wait for the site to get taken and retake, okay? Have CAD open, have CT open, and maybe somebody comes late long, which is sometimes a play that someone will make, and this guy can win the round eventually. The Ts know this, and the CTs know what the response is. So when the dust settles, what usually happens is this area right here where the bomb goes down will get mollied, will get naded, will get flashed, will get slightly peeked from cat, spammed from CT spawn, anything that you can get, any little bit of damage. After that, the bomb gets planted, and from the CT's perspective, they aim to at least thin down the numbers because the retake is very possible. That's why it's okay and why the map still remains balanced, because you can still win like this. Now, some would say that this is a silly part of Dust 2, that long spawns are incredibly strong and they at least start off your round right and can lead to early wins, because it's very hard to fight for control from CT side, even though it's possible. But that is why you see oftentimes in positions in pro matches where the CTs will forfeit long control entirely if they see a lot of T presence, and they'll start immediately working on the upper B push, the mid push, the retake positions, and they'll hold some of their really important utility to try to put a lot of pressure on. But as we can see right here, EG are deciding to try to fight it, and AGO will take those fights. And part of the reason that EG are fighting in that spot is because they don't have the numbers to go for the retake. So what's also key is if the T's come out long control like this, they win long control, plus they get a kill. Now it's 5v4. The CTs can't simply win 4v5 retake. It's possible, for sure. Unlike some other sites on other maps, it's still possible, but it's not super likely, and it can result in a save. So sometimes the CTs will start to fight more. What you're going to notice is that CTs will try to get it to a 3v3, a 2v2. That is what they'll feel like is a more winning position. It's still not a one position. The bomb will still get planted, which sucks, but it's at least possible to try to retake. Whoa, I don't even know. Did Stewie... Wow, he actually... I don't know if you heard that, but... I don't know if Stewie's smoke didn't go far enough. Sometimes in that spot, you might have a smoke that tries to extend out of the long cross smokes here, and then you can rotate in sneakily and use a one-way on the outside. So it might have been something like that. And okay, looks like Fiku's position on the full rifle rounds, maybe most typically, is holding for the upper B pushes, any tunnels control, sitting back and waiting. There's a number of ways to play this. The very best player to watch, of course, is Rops. And you can see some Rops influence, honestly, on Fiku. Look at this crosshair. Look how he actually chops up these angles. Honestly, looks a little bit like Rops, I won't lie. But I know very little about Fiku, his roles on each map, all of his different styles of play. I don't know what he does. We're gonna watch here and learn. So one of the reasons is that you would molly here. Okay, so no one can come peek you, of course. And also it's scary for the CTs. It can bait out utility when they think you're about to take cat control. But if you have no other plans in the round up until that point, sometimes it's good to throw little bits of pressure utility out. That is a pretty big smoke to miss. Kind of ruins the odds of selling their fake, and they're going to see that smoke just completely messed up. We're going to miss a couple of flashes too here too. If you're Fiku, you tell your team, I hit the smoke, I hit the flashes, they're blind, I spotted one. Call some fake info, you know what I mean? Are they going to win anyway? We'll see. Oh, no way to recover the bomb. This round is nice and over. Fiku shouldn't even be chasing, I think, in this position. Yeah, this is just a die. That is slightly one step irresponsible. A couple flashes missed again here, one late. These are key. I mean, listen, there's nobody in the site right now, but you just don't... That was not even a missed flash. That was just switching too early. I mean, we all do it. It happens. But, hey, something to clean up. We'll go back and watch that, of course. I fast forward for 2 seconds and I miss a free kill. Free kill coming Fiku's way. And the trade is also denied, so beautiful stuff. You know, you can see headshot accuracy on point, instant kills. No chance to shoot back. Oh, man. Let's make it all three. Now, the last two should be saving. I'm going to assume here... Oh, do we hear one in mid? We did. Oh my god. That's why we talk about Fiku, baby. That's why we talk about Fiku. That was a nuts spray. Oh, I heard those... just a couple of footsteps right there. God dang. Okay. He's sharp. So this is the... Yeah, okay, so this is a really good example of the spot that I was talking about. 5 long. You literally don't even have to have anyone in spawn these days. You don't have anyone sitting out here. No one here. No one green box like you used to. Instead, T's have realized you can actually just hit 5 here. And it's the reason is because it's very risky to push early from CT side. In fact, you know, Fiku's watching this, but he knows no one's going to come right now. Like, it's just not going to happen. I don't even have the X-ray on to know that they'll re-smoke. And it's a great anti-eco spot to be in as well. So this, again, the CTs, the angle that they're looking to get some value out of is right here off of Cat, where it's somewhat safe. And you can kind of peek as soon as people are jumping up onto the site and try to get kills that way. And now 2 on 5, you know, it's still winnable. So let's see if Fiku... They're going to need Fiku here if they're going to win this. I'll tell you that much. And it looks like they're going to deliver. 2 on 5, and they stop all the presents from coming their way. And the reason that was winnable was because it was pistols, because they had no armor, because they had no utility. Those are the advantages. Retakes are excruciatingly difficult on the pistoling rounds of any rounds, of course. Even with a player advantage. It didn't feel like it at all, you know? Even 5v2, you feel like you're going to lose. You need to get at 5v1 right away. 5v2, when you literally have just pistols with no armor, don't even worry about it. Great trace spray transfer. And some coverage by Yellow. Yellow is literally Valve muted, I guess, which is hilarious. I don't know who that is. That's good. That's awesome. I know how to say one Polish word. Dziwiek? Dziwiec? It's a yellow fizzy lager. Best in the world, okay? Polish cow, Polska Gorum. Alright? That's, I know it. That's everything. I'm telling you right now, you ask Fiku who's a favorite player, he's going to say Rops. I promise. I guarantee it. I'm going to say it.
You seem very sure. Let's test that theory, launders. And now, we wait. NANI? You were right this time, launders. I will get you next time.
Oh, he wants this circ kill. He just saw this little blip on the radar. He's like, I want this now. Oh! Wow. Okay. Clapped. Oh, you knew circ was there, but that's it. Oh, 1v3. Yellow. Valve muted. Can he win? I've noticed that toxic players are really good at clutching, and that's why they overrate themselves. They're actually not good in the 5v5. But they think they're nuts because they're good when their team is dead. And that's why they have a very low win rate, alright? But they get highlights. Facts. 3, 2, 1. And they swing. Cat flash comes from top mid, of course. For the peak. That flash from here, from ultimate, it lands over top of the tunnels to blind all of Cat. Just for the peak. That's it. Let's take a look. CD set up here on B. One close left. The spot that Rush is playing is sucky when the T's take mid control. Okay. Let's look at that. Why? Because if the T's take mid control and they come up here, Rush is here, he is open. Wide open to these reverse doors. Okay. That is not a good spot to be in. If it's a full B take, it's a great spot. And it's also very tricky, especially when you have another player on the site. That could be a winning round. Doesn't mean it's a bad spot to play. It's just a situational thing. And it's sometimes a gamble. If you think a team is going to take a mid-B split or not. Or if they're going to hit B at all. We'll see. Don't play these spots if you think it's going to be mid-B. And don't play these spots if you're alone on B. Okay, if you're alone on B, very, very situationally you play these spots. But don't play spots that are open the door and window if there's still a chance that they could go mid B. Okay, just a PSA. That flash that gets thrown is key right here. Don't have to look away from it. Site gets taken. Round is over. Okay, let me go over the very situational. Everything's almost everything is very situational in CS:GO. Right? There's always an option on the right moment, and usually the rarer option that's the right call is the one that won't be expected and that has its own value, right? That can be good. Even if it's normally a bad spot in a very specific situation, the very best players are going to be able to find that option. So here, the reason when this is good, let's say the tunnels push comes, but it's actually heavy towards mid B and less players towards tunnels. And if you're playing close here, and if you get the kill, one or even a 2-player setup over here, right here at the end of tunnels, then you can push for tunnels control and keep tunnels control, and that's a perfect retake spot. So if you can shut down one half of a split, sometimes that's by being near the choke point you need to push after, then a bad spot becomes a good spot. I feel like using the minimap a lot in these demos. Something fundamental about maps that people need to understand is when you see some pieces of utility being used. The way that long is designed here, right? None of this actually matters. Right here, this whole wall, no one can stand anywhere here. But right here, there's a piece of cover, right? So that is why you molly car. Because this is the one piece of cover. So when you are walking up like this, and you've cleared this angle and you've cleared behind car with your molly, you don't have anything to worry about to your right. And from the CT perspective, this game is about crossfires. If you can have somebody uncontested here, this is not smoked on this side, or somebody on the site, then it is hard to scale. If there is one spot glaring here, like this, like car, and you can just molly that position out and they don't counter it, they don't show any presence, and they don't have anyone there, you have a huge advantage because all 3 players can focus on the trades going this way. All right. That is a fundamental aspect about maps in CSGO that everyone needs to understand. That there are going to be spots like that everywhere. I'll try to point more of those out on different maps. Wow, man, this guy's just popping heads right now. Okay. This is an awkward spot. Bomb is left. So bomb can go... Oh, they don't commit out. So suddenly this actually reduces the position where they have blue. So blue is a nice spot actually for the T's to be in. So the bomb will go back now with options open with a teammate in front of him. Okay, over here. And as long as he doesn't get caught in the rotation, which is all he's clearing, he can go into tunnels and then they're safe. He's actually going to be very, very careful about this. And that's the one rotator. They double smoke the door out of slight panic, miscommunication. But all they need to do is make sure they smoke that door. 3v2. 2v1 versus Rush and... Wow. Oh, wait, what? Okay, I don't even know. I can't believe he did that just now. Like, why? I don't know why he did that just now, but... Like, Rush could have actually still won the round. I guess he was so sure he was saving. I don't know. But, nice shot. The confidence is really high. The crab walk jump throw, perfect. Oh, and they have a lead here at the end of long. With a very close player. That could be so annoying. I like that setup. If they get that, they sneak up so far and then they throw their smokes late. So if there's any reaction, any nades being heard, any footsteps, because the CTs think that it's still all the T's back in pit, then that one T can go and punish them. I like how they did that. Quickie from Cirque. They said, who cares? Let's find these ops. This molly is for that Cirque op on the corner of the boxes. Then make sure he has to either fall back or smoke it. Nice, really well-timed setup smoke here, right after the molly goes. Unsure if this round is recoverable from this spot. 3v5 is not that... I honestly don't think 3v5 is that bad on T side. You have cat control. I mean, it sucks. It still sucks. It's still 3v5. But compared to some other maps, 3v5 on T side does too. It could be worse. And they have a fake split happening right now. You know, most of the time, this is going to come down to your opening kills anyway. Okay, they lose. It's been cool to see a possible 3v5. 2v4 whole different ball games. Cirque there on the car. Okay, Fiku's spray. It's just too clean today. And he'll just have to, I mean, okay, yeah, he'll have to hit a blazing fast shot to get away with that. Cirque's waiting, he hits it. They pause champ here at the top of mid. With always abusing long controls. Really good from AGO, why not? You know what they say, if they give you long control, take it. Sun Tzu. Now they just be getting upped. Uh-oh. Oh, that's solid. I mean, Cirque was ready for the peak right after Bree's shot. All right, this could be the end of it. That could be it. That's it. Okay, we saw the ace. Okay, that's the 1/2 from Fiku. Hey, that was kind of interesting because that game, I mean, first of all, playing nuts. But I think you can also see a little bit of maybe why he's inconsistent. I get a little bit of Scream vibes here. So I think, you know, he's lurking, which means he should also probably be a really strong clutch player, even though he didn't have to see it. Super high highs with Fiku, of course, the crosshair placement's insane, everything like that. You know, just taking a look at his stats, because again, this is a player I don't know a whole lot about, so you guys might know him better than I do. And I was just looking at his team history, and I'm like, oh, it's cool, he's played with AGO for quite a while. But yeah, sometimes when you take the bird's eye view at his stats, you think, okay, this is a little bit lower than I expected for what we just saw. And then you take a look at some of the other stats and you're like, whoa, some of these games are really strong. But then you take a look at some of the, you know, bad maps and they're pretty strugglesome, you know, pretty strugglesome. So still some inconsistency to work out there. I think the discipline, of course, could come up a bit. You know, the play that he made versus rush out mid, that was kind of like, that's a little bit, I don't know who said, oh, go do this or start hunting or whatever, but that seemed a little bit strange. Some of the nades, utility being missed. Hey, you know, you got to hit utility. That's kind of like if you go back into a round after a demo with a team and you say, let's look at all these rounds. As soon as someone misses a piece of utility, none of the rest of the analysis of the round is like, it matters, because you can always go back to, well, we should have just hit this smoke. This should have mattered. So as silly as it is that, you know, he knows the lineups, he just messed something up, or he quick switched too fast and maybe they still won the rounds. Those are going to cost you games in the long run, especially with the frequency of maps that CS players have to put in. So hitting nades is really important. We saw Fiku miss a few grenades, and but apart from that, did his job. We saw his best map in some time versus a very strong team relative to the teams that AGO play. So very promising. Again, super young. That looked solid. Definitely godlike on the rounds that he was godlike. Yeah, and some of the other things I think we could see where maybe some of the inconsistency comes. But for now, all I want to know is his favorite player Rops? Is his favorite player Rops? That's my question. But yeah, that's Fiku. I hope you enjoyed that. 20 kills in both halves. I didn't watch both. But this one's already 25 minutes. So I'm going to leave it to the first half. Maybe we'll check it again with FQ in the future. Hope you enjoyed that. And as always, be safe.
Big dog shit, got my paws all dirty. Looking for a plate, that's why the dogs up early. With it white big, eat it like a McFlurry. I ain't got time to chill, I'm in a hurry. P the game, I got it for my daddy ho. Smoking dope, but saying raps out on the patio. My boss said you ain't putting in work.